Alright, we're going to break down Jesus' trial before the Sanhedrin. And I'm going to be a bit preemptive here, because I know a lot of you are like, well, why aren't you using the Passion? You know, why are you using this old movie from 1977? I believe this movie is a bit more accurate, and that's not really a knock against the Passion, because the Passion is only like 2 hours, I think. This movie's 7, the movie I'm pulling it from. But in any case, let's just get into it. So Jesus brought in, evidently. Let it play out.
Brethren! Caiaphas said he should be bound like a common thief. It's most unseemly, sir.
Jesus, it is not our intention to treat you as a criminal, but we want you to explain to this assembly the nature of your teachings.
So, first thing I'll point out is this movie makes much more emphasis on Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea. I know these are the two because it's said in other parts of the movie. But these are basically the only two people that were in the Sanhedrin that are at least accounted to it, at the very least, that are sympathetic to Jesus. So keep that in mind. This guy's Joseph of Arimathea. This guy is a rich man. He's a very high-ranking member. Nicodemus, I believe, is just a Pharisee. And he's a lower-ranking member, but both are sympathetic to Jesus.
Teachings. What is this doctrine you and your disciples are spreading through Judea?
I have spoken openly for all the world to hear. I have taught in the synagogues and in the temple. I have said nothing in secret. So, why do you ask me? Ask those who heard me.
You know, I always found it really interesting. Jesus is like a masterclass. If you needed to go into a cross-examination, like imagine you were being accused of murder or something like that, and you had to go through cross-examination. I think Jesus is like the greatest masterclass of all time. Like watch like 3 movies about Jesus and watch his interaction with Pilate, the Sanhedrin, and whatnot. He's a master of remaining silent and only saying what is absolutely necessary. Although you could say he incriminated himself in this trial, but that was purposeful.
They are my witnesses.
Caiaphas, I've heard him preach. I find nothing in his doctrine which denies the basic principles of our faith.
Rabbi, we fail to understand the meaning of many of your sayings.
For instance, there are witnesses who say that you claim that you could destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days.
No one could rebuild the temple in 3 days. What he said must have some symbolic meaning. Come.
I'm sure I heard him say he could rebuild it again in 2 days.
3 days, 4 days, you hear? Witnesses can't even agree.
How can we remember every detail? There was a riot, which Jesus himself provoked, but for which the Romans will hold us responsible.
The riot was provoked by Barabbas.
The Romans don't need an excuse. We know what they have done to our people. All of us here can remember the occasion not so many years back when over 1,000 of our people were nailed to the walls of Jerusalem because there were not enough scaffolds to satisfy the Romans' lust for blood.
I wonder if that's what the Wailing Wall is. I'm gonna look it up after this. That might be what it is.
Punches Pilate, then we can prevent.
Of course not, Joseph. We're all agreed upon that. As Caiaphas has said, this is not a trial. We left our homes. We came here tonight hoping that Jesus of Nazareth would explain to us the purpose of his mission and help to heal the divisions in our community.
Brother, we have often heard that you've come to bring love and brotherhood. I beg you, bring peace to our gathering tonight.
I have come not to bring peace, but a sword. And you're about to see that right here. Oh, Jesus was a peacemaker. Look, we're going to break down what he says, because what he says next is going to be very important.
Tell me. It has been said that you proclaimed yourself the Son of God. ask you now, in the name of the Eternal, are you the Messiah, the Son of God?
I am.
I'm going to break this down once you finish this saying, because this is like a quadruple, quintuple, whatever you want to call it. This is like, as far as you can go, the whole phrase.
And you shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power of God.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
So basically, to the Pharisees, Jesus just committed like the highest form of blasphemy. And the reason why I break this down is primarily because when you first listen to it, it just seems like he's saying, yeah, I am the Messiah. But that's not really what I am means here. If you would recall in Exodus 3, God himself referred to himself as I am. I am who I am. Tell the Israelites, I am has sent you. I am is a name for God, and Jesus used the exact phrase, I am. As you can see here.
I am.
I am, and they already know what this means, because Jesus on another occasion before this had gotten in trouble for using the phrase I am. Jesus said something to the effect of, before Abraham, I knew Abraham, right? But Abraham lived over 1,000 years ago. So like, how did you know Abraham? And Jesus said, before Abraham, I am. Now that phrase makes absolutely no sense unless you understand that I am literally means God. And they went to go pick up stones to kill him. So I am means just more than saying, yeah, I am the Messiah. It's more like I am, as in God. And then, of course, he goes down on saying, we'll see the Son of Man, which Daniel prophesies the Son of Man coming and sitting at the right hand of the power of God. So Jesus took this question, right, and completely obliterated it. And like, this is as bad as it gets when it comes to blasphemy to these people. He basically just called himself God, the Messiah, and the Son of God. All in one sentence. The most, assuming to them, the most blasphemous sentence he could put together. Of course, tears his robes, and this nerd over here. I don't even remember who this is, but throughout the movie, he was just snitch.
Let him be taken before the procurator, Pontius Pilate.
He's like the snitch in Recess. I don't know, Ronald. I forgot what his name was. Yeah, now Jesus is taken to Pilate, who would end up being crucified. And the significance of Joseph, Arimathea, and Nicodemus is, at least in all the Gospels, Joseph is accounted to as paying for the body of Jesus, asking Pilate for the body of Jesus, and burying Jesus, giving Jesus a proper burial. Burial. Excuse me. Nerd. And then the rest is just Peter denying Jesus 3 times, which Jesus said he would do. So it's important to, and this is just, of course, there's a lot more to watch regarding things like this. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. But this is all part of the bigger movement, okay? Okay. Education. We have to know why we believe what we believe. And part of that is understanding what's going on. I mean, I think most Christians don't understand what I just talked about, or didn't understand what I just talked about before they watched this video. And that type of thing has to change, because at the end of the day, this is the most important thing in our lives. Okay, a lot of Christians, they're playing fantasy football and doing all this other crap. That doesn't matter, and they're experts in those fields, but they should become experts in this field, the faith. And that's not to say I'm an expert, but I'm here to help people before me in terms of knowledge. if that's a proper way of putting it. If you want to join the movement, link in the description to the Discord. Follow me on Instagram, like my post. My Instagram looks better. Subscribe to the channel for future videos. Check out my website. Give me your email so I can sell you stuff. Those are my call to actions. I'll see you in the next one.